Hello, hi, welcome to Science Institute of Education. This is Sam, your host. Today I have come up with another video of connectors. Apparently last time when I made one, there was few things that were left. So today I'm going to make the rest of the video in order to explain you in an effective manner what is the importance of using connectors. Okay, so let's get started. Now, first of all, let's look into what we did before. So, in the previous session, we did addition in terms of understanding how we can use and, plus, furthermore, moreover, in addition, also, as well as. Why this is in the previous video in my channel. You can see connectors, number one. So, in this addition, what this addition was, we discussed when we are joining two or more sentences into our context. Like, for example, let's say what kind of skills that you have learned during this lockdown period. So, you can say, I have learned a couple of things. Like, firstly, I learned cooking because I'm very passionate about this. Plus, I learned like swimming. Why? Because I wanted to keep myself fit as a fiddle. Right. Furthermore, I learned this. Moreover, I learned that. In addition to this, also I learned this, and I learned this as well. Right. You can speak with as well in the end, or as well as I learned this thing. Right. So these kind of connectors really help you to maintain your fluency. Second thing we did time. Time is used when we are representing a scenario in which we have been talking about the time. Like when you do this, then this will happen. While people were busy into this condition, this thing happened. You know, so this kind of connectors we have used while making some examples. You can see them. Sequence, then sequences like we use, like firstly, secondly, thirdly, next, or then afterwards, then, and finally, or last but not least. These are sequence linkers, right? Sequence connectors we use when we have to describe about a list. Contrasting with it, we use like when we terms of contradictions like but, however, though, although, nevertheless, despite, whereas, and while. Right now, whereas obviously when we are comparing, when we are comparing two and three, like two things, like I drink tea, whereas people, prefer to drink coffee. Right. I drink tea, but I don't like coffee. Right. So these kind of linkers, as you can see in the example, like pretty much same with it. Now let's carry on. Today we'll be doing the next thing is condition. Now in condition, I have prepared some examples. Will make you understand each by each. Now it says as long as, provided that, unless, otherwise. Let's understand this in detail. Now, in condition, when we want to express the idea that something can happen only in certain conditions, we can use conditional connectors, right? So, emphasis on when we want to express the idea that something can happen only in certain conditions, not every time, right? So, that's where we can use this conditional linkers. For example, you can play video games as long as you tidy your room first, okay? आप वीडियो गेम्स खेल सकते हो, राइट, एज लॉन्ग एज उससे पहले आपको अपना रूम साफ करना होगा. एज लॉन्ग एज हो गया तभी खेल सकते हो, आपको अपना रूम पहले साफ करना होगा, राइट. सो at certain conditions we are representing, right, you will be allowed to go out and play with your friends as long as you finish your homework first. Okay, so you can play video games as long as you tidy your room first. Now, second, provided that same thing will keep the goods for you, provided that we receive the payment soon, right? So now, obviously, we'll keep the goods. Like you bought something, right, but you haven't made the payment yet, right? So the shopkeeper's telling you, we'll keep the goods for you. हम अपने पास goods रखेंगे, provided that we receive the payment soon. जब तक हमें पेमेंट पहले मिल जाएगी, ठीक है, तब तक ठीक है. अगर हमें पेमेंट पहले मिल जाएगी तो हम आपके गुड्स रखेंगे, राइट. So we'll keep the goods for you. हम आपके goods जो हैं वो अपने पास रखेंगे, provided that we receive the payment soon. Okay, I hope clear. Now next is unless. Unless means basically if not. Right? That's a grammatical structure. If not, we replace that with unless. Here, as you can see, unless the economy improves, interest rates will go down again. Right? So, if not, if the economy does not improve, right? If the economy does not improve, interest rates will go down again. So instead of if not, we are just replacing with unless. Unless the economy improves, interest rates will go down again. Now, there is another way of writing this also, like unless you can bring in between the sentence. So as you can see, it has two different clauses, just like if, right? Now, this is your first clause and this is your second clause. You can always reverse it. You can bring the reverse first and then the first clause in the end. So I have made a sentence here. As you can see, it says interest rates will go down again unless the economy improves. Okay, so it's the same thing, but it just depends on the way you will be speaking it. That's only the difference, right? The intonation will definitely be changing when you sound this. Unless the economy improves, interest rates will go down again. Interest rates will go down again unless the economy improves. Right. Now, next, we need to hurry up. Otherwise, we'll miss the flight. Right. Otherwise, तो क्या हो जाएगा अगर ये चीज नहीं होगी? Right. So we are using otherwise over there. We need to hurry up. Otherwise, we'll miss the flight. Okay. You need to cook the dish quickly. Otherwise, the chapati will get cold. Right? So something is depending on other. For that condition, now these are only in certain conditions, obviously, we are expressing. ये तब तक नहीं होगा जब तक ये चीज नहीं होगी. So we need to hurry up, otherwise we'll miss the flight. Right? I hope it's clear. So this is how you can use the condition. Right? As long as, provided that, unless, otherwise. Right? Let's move next. Now, the next is reason. Now, reason is very important. See, the thing is that many people say that I'm not in, I'm unable to express my views. Now, that is simply because you're not giving a reason. For example, if it's been said that, do you like listening music? Yes, I like listening music. And then you're numb. Now, obviously, you need to give a reason that why do you like to listen music? What kind of music do you like to listen? All these things are quite imperative. Right. So, and it's definitely be very fruitful in IELTS examination if you're taking. Let's say, do you like listening music? Oh yes, absolutely. I mean, I'm very fond of listening to reggae songs because it's just the type of instruments that are being used in it. I just love it. It provides me very soothing effect. Right. So as you can see, now the answer is fully developed. Right. So what kind of reason connectors we can use? Because, as, due to, so that, in order to, we can also use since. Right? Since, because, as, these three are pretty much same. Now, when we want to explain the reason for something, we need to use this group of connectors, the most common of which is because. For example, many people study English because it's important for their jobs, right? So many people study English because it's important for their jobs. Now we can also say it like many people study English as it's important for their jobs. Many people study English since it's important for their jobs, right? Now we cannot use here due to. Why? Because many people study English due to its importance in the jobs, that we can say, right? So, but not everywhere, like so that you can fit in there. Now, many people study English in order to get good jobs. That's how we can use. Many people study English so that they can get a good job, right? This is how you can make a sentence. So, because, as, since, these three can be used while giving simple reason. Now, let's use the as. Now, we can start up with a sentence. As you didn't do a very good job with this essay, I'd like you to do it again. right? So since you didn't do a very good job with this essay, I'd like you to do it again. Because you didn't do a very good job with this essay, I'd like you to do it again. As you can see, there's like two sentences. I'm joining one, making a complex sentence. Complex sentence means that we are when we are using a conjunction to join two sentences together. Compound complex becomes when we use two or more, right? I'll be making another video regarding grammar in which I'll be explaining these things in depth, right? So I hope this one's clear. As you didn't do a very good job with this essay, क्योंकि right, क्योंकि आपने एक अच्छा काम नहीं किया इस essay के साथ, तो मैं चाहता हूँ कि आप फिर से ये करो, right? So your sentence is starting from a reason. Now, the intonation, if we talk about in speaking, definitely it should start from a high pitch. Like, as you didn't do a very good job with this essay, I'd like to, I'd like you to do it again. So it varies, right? Because you didn't do a very good job with this essay, I'd like you to do it again. Okay? The last bit, I'd like you to do it again, needs to sound that you're emphasizing the person that you really want him to do. Right? Now let's do due to. Due to is basically क्यों, जैसे हम क्यों कैसे रिप्रेजेंट करते हैं देखिए, ड्यू टू हैवी ट्रैफिक के कारण we arrived half an hour late. That's always hour, don't say are, right? It's half an hour late. Now, due to heavy traffic. Now, heavy traffic, heavy is a collocation, right? So, traffic is a verb. Now, due to heavy traffic. Now, instead of heavy, right, we can also say due to traffic snarls, traffic bottlenecks, due to gridlock, right? Due to bumper traffic, right? So, all these words we can use in order to represent the traffic congestion, which is in simple words, traffic jam, right? Or you can use heavy traffic, but do not put anywhere heavy traffic jam. No. Okay. So, due to heavy traffic, we arrived half an hour late. Okay. Right. I hope this one's clear. How to use due to. Now, due to the fact, right? We sometimes use this sentence as well. Due to the fact. Now, for example, I really wanted to come to your party last night, but I'm sorry I couldn't make it due to the heavy traffic right outside my home. Or we can say, I really wanted to come New Delhi, but I'm sorry I couldn't make it due to the protest that is going on these days. Right? So this is how, because of the heavy protest these days, due to the heavy protest these days, we can use these words. Okay? Now, let's use so. So is basically also given used to give reason. It is also used to give your result, right? We'll be understanding how we can use it. We left early so we could have a coffee before starting, right? We left early. Now here, as you can see, I'm not saying like so this is very beneficial. No. The sentence style, look at it. We left early so we could have a cup of coffee before starting. हम जल्दी निकल लिए ताकि हम कॉफी ले सके शुरू करने से पहले, ताकि वो replacing with so this is how we can supersede, right? Now, we left early so we could have a coffee before starting, right? I left my house early so I can reach your home on time or before time, right? For example, your friend has given you a specific time that Sam, you really have to be here at 6 o'clock in evening, right? So I'm calling an up at like 5:30, saying I already left my home, buddy, so I can reach your home against the clock. Against the clock means that he has given me 6 o'clock, so I'll be reaching definitely before that, right? So that's a very beautiful expression. Now, the next is in order to. In order to also we use to give reason. Very beautiful expression when we use in task 2, writing task for IELTS. They are having a conference call. Why? In order to finalize the contract details. Right? So they are having a conference call in order to finalize the contract details. right? So this is how we can use the reason linkers: because, as, due to, so, in order to, right? I really like to go abroad for higher education in order to get myself acquainted with the way studies are conducted there. So this is how we're using in order to. I have subscribed to n number of channels about cooking on YouTube in order to flourish my culinary skills, or anything you can say. Okay? All right. I hope this one's clear. Let's do last. That is result. For result, we are going to do so, as I've told you before. Therefore, as a result, consequently. Now, when you want to express the consequence of an action, like result of an action, use result connectors. They all have a similar meaning, though so is more common in spoken English and is more informal. The others are more appropriate in a formal, like written context. Here are some examples. Let's see. I'd forgotten my car keys, so I had to go back into the office to get them, right? I've forgotten, I had forgotten my car keys. Now I had, because over here I am using contraction, as you can see. I always tell in all my videos, use contractions as much as you can for speaking only, because it enhances your pronunciation power, right? So I'd forgotten my car keys, so I had to go back into the office to get them, right? So that's why here I'm using so. Last year's results were excellent. Therefore, you will all receive a bonus. Now that sounds very formal expression, which means in an office or something like that. Like a formal sentence has been given to the employees. Guys, last year's results were excellent. Therefore, you will all receive a bonus. Right? If I'm talking to a friend or my one of my allies, right? So I'll be simply saying I've forgotten my car keys, so I had to go back into the office to get them. Right. Now, the next is as a result. Now, with this, we definitely have to put a period. Crime rates are increasing. So, what's happening? As a result, the government is going to hire more police officers. Right? The pronunciation of POLICE, I have written in brackets, is police. Police officers. Right? It don't pronounce it like police officers. Okay, it's one single O, FFICERS. It's officers, right? So crime rates are increasing. As a result, the government is going to hire more police officers. Police officers. Police officers. Okay. All right. Now the last is consequently. Now I prepared an example on my only. Let's say Sam did really well at university and consequently received several job offers. Right? Sam did really well at university and consequently received several job offers. Right? So I can also use here Sam did really well at university and so he received several job offers. Right? So instead of consequently, I'm just superseding with so he received. Right? So he. Right? Supersede means replace. Right? So superseded with so he received several job offers. Okay? Now, recap again. So, therefore, it's pronounced as always there, right? Therefore, THEIR, on the other hand, it sounds like dear. Dear, which means they're representing the people, the other cohorts, right? So, other cohorts are echelons. We did this meaning, it means group of people, right? Cohorts, 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 and echelons, ECHELONS, right? So, there we are representing to other cohorts, right? There, it's there, right? So there, it's basically therefore, THERE, there, right? So therefore, as a result, consequently, these four linkers can be used to represent the result, right? Now, as you can see, connectors are useful in many situations and can transform your level of fluency in conversation. So start to practice now by using them yourself when you speak and write. and pay attention to connectors when you read and listen them. Okay, I hope the lecture was fruitful. If you have any queries, right, and there's a contact number. Now, Science City of Education, we do conduct online and offline sessions of IELTS and spoken English. Just to let you know, offline sessions are at my place, right? The institute is in Patiala City in Punjab, but online we also conduct, right, on Zoom meetings. We have our virtual platform where there it gets like daily your tasks are given, writing tasks and spoken. Okay, so if you have any difficulty, kindly do let me know and I'll happy to resolve it. Right? Thank you so much. Have a very lovely day ahead.